in here. Nothing really sticking out too much, but we're probably somewhere in the Stokesland area and might be there just getting past the state line and moving up into Pennsylvania again. So if you are in the Pennsylvania County area, you're going to want to keep an eye on this storm in the next couple of minutes as it continues to move northward. How fast is the storm moving right now? We've got this storm again moving north at the moment. It's at about lasts until 2:45. Now this storm again probably going to be carrying over into the next couple of hours. It looks like for the moment it's just south of the Coates Elementary School area. If you're in Pennsylvania County, you want to try and keep an eye on this. It is moving 25 miles an hour. Okay, so this one's moving a little slower than the ones that we had earlier this morning. Those were moving a little faster, so we'll probably keep an eye on this one somewhat longer. A lot of these were overrunning the warnings. That's a problem that we kept seeing this morning with a lot of the warnings that were happening. We're going to put a track on this and just let you know some of the locations out ahead of where the main cell is and what you should expect. The average area in the next about 2:20, so this is in about 2 or 3 minutes. Pelham Elementary School. Also, you should be getting to a safe place already. Mount Cross, Lanier's Mill, you have a little more time, not much, but just go ahead and start getting your stuff together and hopefully get to a safe location. Again, this one's a little stronger, looks a little wider than some of the smaller cells that we had this morning. So get to a safe place. Again, this is just to the west of Danville, moving into parts of Pennsylvania County. So if you are in Pennsylvania County, you'll want to go ahead and just keep an eye on this storm. If you're a little further north, you'll want to go ahead and get into your safe place. That's the most interior room of your house, and try to find a good spot that will keep you from that. We can, if you can, off screen, if you want to get the Danville camera running on the other webcam, if we can see, maybe point that west. Yeah, so it looks like we do at least see some of those low clouds there. If this is west. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Will. Yeah, so dark clouds definitely being seen there on the horizon, and we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Might be able to see something if it does come down out of the clouds, but for the moment, just definitely some low clouds there as that storm's moving through. Lots of heavy rainfall, even if we're not seeing anything touching down at the moment. But a nice close view there. Westover Hills Church, you can still see this bright spot is where the radar is picking up on high winds, and those are going to get carried down to the surface. Now we're going to probably try to find if we could see if there might be something. I would guess it's probably going to be somewhere in here, areas maybe down a little to the south. Looks like, yeah, Coates Elementary School around there, just north of Park Avenue Elementary. I'm just going to read out a couple of these little locations, so maybe that'll help you if you hear somewhere that sounds familiar, something you might want to take cover. Or if you know somebody around this area, keep that in mind too. If you know somebody close by, you might want to give them a call, give them a text, let them know what's going on, because they might not be watching. Shermont Baptist Church as well, also close by there. This bright color, again, that's what we're watching. This is just another tool that we use of radar. So oftentimes we look at the rain falling. Well, it can also tell us how the winds are blowing, how fast they're going, and what direction those winds are going. That's what you're seeing here. And when we see those bright colors, this is not showing us the rain, it's showing us what direction the winds are blowing. And right here is where we're seeing really high winds, and if we were to see a really bright green, really bright red next to each other, kind of helps us see where those rotations. And this is kind of broadly what we're looking at right there, where you see all that, the dark color in here mixed with that bright green. That's where the rotation is. And for the moment, this storm is moving northward at about 25 miles an hour. Not as fast as we had some coming through this morning, but still could be dangerous. And we're going to keep a close eye on it. So it's still just to the west of Danville. Danville, you're okay. You are not dealing with this storm. This one is going to be avoiding you, but it is moving through parts of Pennsylvania County, just north of Schoolfield and moving towards Mount Cross. If you're ahead of this storm, even in the next 5-10 minutes, you've still got plenty of time. But if you're in Mount Cross, you should be getting to your safe place in the next couple of minutes as soon as you can. Is there a lot of lightning with this forming, or are we not seeing any? Okay. This one is also moving towards the northeast, a little bit of a northeast track, a little more easterly than some of the ones we saw earlier. So we're putting a little tracker on here to let you know some of the places that are ahead of this storm. Lanier's Mill is about 2:32. That's 10 minutes from now. Mount Herman Church also at about 2:35, 2:38 in Pleasant Gap as well. So this, again, moving northward. Still seeing some really bright greens, bright colors popping up, just showing you where that rotation is as we continue to see it move northward. I'm going to bring in George now and to let him take over for a few minutes. George, what are you seeing here?
All right, Thomas, so I want to continue our live severe weather coverage here with the tornado-warned storm, which remains in effect for Danville. If you're just following us here, the time is now 2:22 on your Friday. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for a storm on the Westover side, the west side of Danville, and it's lifting to the north. Will, could you remove that storm track here for just a second? What I also think is going to happen is that as this storm lifts to the north, it's actually going to start to turn a little bit more to the left and to the west. So we're eventually going to see this storm moving a bit more to the north and west, which would be good news for Route 29, Blair's, and also for Chatham as well, Dry Fork and Gretna. If there's a tornado, it's going to be right in here. Get into your place of tornado shelter right now if you live on the west side of Danville near Westover Drive and also up toward Mount Cross. It is tornado safety time for you, so you want to have as many walls between you and this potential tornado as possible. So where you see Danville on the map, this is showing you downtown Danville. We're zooming in for a closer look. So this is right along 51 on the west side of town, and this is toward Coates Elementary School. If there is a tornado that's forming, it's going to do so in here, and then it's going to lift almost straight to the north. So as far as downtown Danville, you are good from this storm. You can see the cell, just got a new radar scan. If you live near Mount Olive Church, which is on the northwest side of Danville, it is tornado safety time for you. Will, let's zoom out a little bit on this storm. And I do want to pull another storm track. It's interesting that this tornado warning is the second one of the day that we've had for Danville. The first storm did not end up producing a tornado. And actually on this path here, clear that one off, that storm track, because it looks like to me that it's moving almost due north and actually maybe a smidge like 350 degrees just west of due north. So right through here, that's a good looking storm track. Thank you for that. And what did you see the vector? What is the velocity on that one that you're getting? Moving at 25. Okay, so this is moving slower, and I believe Thomas mentioned this as well. This one is moving a little slower than the cell which we had earlier, but if you live near Pelham Elementary School, it is tornado safety time for you. Get into a basement if you have one. Prepare for this possible tornado. We have not had a confirmation as of yet that there actually is a tornado, but it's definitely rotating at cloud level. Hey, Will, could you pull up our Danville sky camera? And in this view, and I'm going to step out of the shot so you can see this, turn the camera more to the northwest. Of course, we're looking toward the old Dan River Mill, and you can see, gosh, just look at all that, the muddy Dan. Got a lot of water coming downstream. But right now, we are turning the camera to look more to the north and west. Certainly a pretty ominous looking sky, as you can see. By the way, that's the top of the YMCA building that you're seeing at the top. If there is a tornado, it's likely going to be just beyond the scope of this camera. But Thomas and Will, we've not had confirmation of an actual tornado yet. Okay, so that is good news, but very intimidating looking clouds, as you can see from this live view right now to the northwest. But again, we have not had a tornado yet confirmed from the storm, but certainly intimidating cloud enough that's really, really getting your attention. Okay, let's go back to the radar view, and I'm pulling up my camera here so that, or my computer here so I can get a closer look at the storm. As far as some of the specific areas, if you live near State Highway 41, or 51 rather, right through here, get into your tornado shelter in case a tornado is detected from this storm. If you live near Tunstall High School, get into your place of tornado shelter as well in case a tornado does develop. There's definitely a lot of wind which is being pushed out. This is near the Mount Cross community, which you can see right through there. Some of the streets that are in this area, of course, this is also out toward the Franklin Turnpike. If you live near the Franklin Turnpike, you need to be in your tornado safety spot in case a tornado does end up developing out of this storm. It's definitely rotating. It's, yes, sir?
If there is a tornado, it's about to cross Mount Cross Road. That's Mount Cross Road.
Thank you, Will. So right now, if there's a tornado, as Will was saying, it's near Pelham Elementary School, and it's about to cross Mount Cross Road. If there is a tornado on the ground right through here, you absolutely need to be in your place of tornado shelter if you live near Pelham Elementary, Mount Olive Church, or Mount Cross Road, which you can see here. So this is staying west of Danville, west of Blair's, and west of Dry Fork. You can see Mount Herman Elementary located here. It's going to be staying to the west of that, and this is going to lift northward across Pittsylvania County. This tornado warning will continue until 2:45 on this tornado warning. Let's take a look also. Let's see if we have other cells in the area that we're needing to pay attention to. Let's see if there's anything else that we are seeing that is rotating at the moment. So as of now, we have that one storm, which we were showing you, just to the west of Danville. There is another smaller rotation. This is near north of Axton, which is kind of between Martinsville and Danville, right along the county line. That's the Henry and Pennsylvania county line. There is a small area of rotation that we're going to monitor, but this area sticks out to us right through here on the northwest side of Danville. That's where this possible tornado is located. If you live near the old Lanier's Mill, which is on the northwest side of Danville, get into your place of tornado shelter in case a tornado does end up developing from this storm. Lanier's Mill, tornado safety time for you. The city of Danville, you're good. The cell is moving away from you. It is moving away from your direction. Right in here. And I'm going to step out of the shot so that you can see both of these images here. So we have the ominous looking sky cam, which is showing you Danville there, and we're panning the camera a little bit more toward the northwest and north. We do not see a tornado on the ground from this vantage point, but we do have a very intimidating looking cloud in the distance as this cell is moving toward the northwest. If there is a tornado on the ground and you live near Mount Cross Road, tornado safety time for you. Also, Lanier's Mill. Eventually, we're going to see this moving toward Pleasant Gap. That is where this potential tornado is located, and this potential tornado is moving to the north. Will, let's go with a full screen image of this cell, and let's zoom out a little bit so we can kind of reset and put this in relation to Danville as well as the rest of Pennsylvania County, and also we'll pull another storm track on this cell. So if you're in Danville, you're good. The rotating part of the storm is moving away from you. If there's a tornado, it is going to be located right in here. This is near Mount Cross. Dry Fork is going to be located here. And as I'm looking, the storm vector, it looks like it's moving at about 300, pull it a little bit more northwest. It looks like it's moving about 355 degrees. Just right through here. So this is going to stay near, but also move very close to Chatham. So Dry Fork, as I was pointing out, is in here, and Chatham is in here. So it's basically lifting straight to the north. The Green Pond area, we're going to see that near you at 306. Climax Elementary School, it will be near you at 309. So you still have a long time before that part of the cell is moving your direction. So that's a little bit more than 30 minutes away. So the time is now 2:31 here on your Friday afternoon, and good afternoon to you. Many of you may be just used to watching regular ABC 13 programming, but we have a tornado warned storm. This is our third tornado warning of the day, and right now you can see that if there's a tornado, it's going to be this colorful area here near Lanier's Mill and near and west of Mount Herman Elementary School. City of Danville, you are safe. This is moving away from you. Have we had any reports of any storm damage from this cell?
We haven't had any reports of that, but I do want to show you this One little thing, George, on our debris detector.
Yes.
This is an interesting signature right there, right over Mount Cross, right there, that little pixel there. We were showing you this earlier. When you see the maroon, that basically is what you want to see in that. And we're basically looking for something that doesn't match up with everything else. So the exterior here, that's pretty normal. The maroon inside the cell, that's pretty normal. Where you see these little individual pixels inside the maroon, and especially this bright pixel inside the maroon, that doesn't exactly match up. It doesn't fit with the others. That's something that is a little bit concerning to us as well, but we have not had any confirmation of anything from the Weather Service thus far.
I like how you put that on this particular view here. You can see where it says storm debris at the top. We're basically looking for the object which does not belong. I don't see a screaming obvious sign that, oh wow, this is definitely a tornado, but is this possibly some storm debris? Too soon to know, but that does have our attention. Let's go back to the regular traditional radar view and let's track where the storm is now. And let's zoom out a little bit, and I want to look ahead I don't know if this is showing up in the storm vectors or not, but how the storm does appear to be turning a little bit to the left, as we were mentioning, how it's basically moving a little bit to the west of due north, maybe about 350 degrees. So this is going to keep it west of Blair's, west of Dry Fork, and this should keep it to the west of Chatham. If there is a tornado, it is going to be near Lanier's Mill. You can also see that this cell is quickly going to be moving out of this red polygon. That would mean that the National Weather Service is going to have a decision to make on whether they are going to issue another tornado warning for this storm, and this would be as it's approaching State Highway 41, which of course makes its way toward Callens and near the Whip Mill area. As we're looking at this, we do see a rotating area, a small area of rotation up at cloud level. I don't see a Captain Obvious tornado, but it is spinning up at cloud level. Whether that reaches the ground, that is to be determined. But right through here near Lanier's Mill, you do need to be in your place of tornado shelter. If you live in Mount Cross, we're going to give you the all clear, the Mount Cross community. It is okay for you to come out of your place of tornado shelter, as if there is a tornado being produced by the storm, it is staying to your north. So you're okay to come out in Mount Cross. And also, maybe if you are just joining us and you live, say, closer toward Axton or Danville, you are safe from this storm. The tornado warning has been cleared for your location. But if you live near Pleasant Gap, which is right here along State Highway 41, it is tornado safety time for you. Get into your place of shelter in case a tornado does form. Let's zoom out a little bit, because Will and Thomas, there are a few other areas that we've been watching, and I'm looking to the west, and there's also another one which is going to move into Virginia near Sandy Level. So this area here, and let's zoom out just a little bit here so that we can kind of see what this is in relation to. So this is Axton. So if you're driving toward Martinsville, you'd be driving through Axton. This is looking north of Axton near the Sandy River. This storm does have an area of rotation with it at cloud level, or at least where it's being detected on radar. We will watch this storm. This one is basically moving straight to the north, right up the Henry and Pennsylvania County line. Right through here, there is a small area of rotation which has developed. There's also another storm, which is, I want to go down toward Eden, North Carolina. So it's interesting here, it does not, okay, this is good news. This does not look as impressive as I thought it might. So this is good news. I was watching a cell toward Eden, North Carolina. It'll be one to watch later, but at the moment we do not see that one being tornadic. Let's take a look though at Lynchburg and Bedford and also into Roanoke. For our viewers who just may be turning on the television in Roanoke, I don't see anything tornadic anywhere near Lynchburg. We'll watch though for later. We are under a tornado watch. Bedford, you're okay. Really the bigger issue that we're seeing for Roanoke and down through the New River Valley will be the river levels, particularly for the New River, which is going to reach major flood stage tomorrow on Saturday. There are flash flood warnings in effect right now for Floyd County. You can also see them for the counties and city of Roanoke, Salem, and also into Craig County flash flood warnings are in effect for that direction. Let's go back to the traditional radar view and of the reflectivity, and let's reset this map for all of our viewers who may be just joining us. So far today, we've had 3 tornado warnings in our viewing area. This is the third one. This one's for Pittsylvania County, actually the second time of the day that you've been under a tornado warning. What you're seeing here for North Hampton, that is for a tornado warning, which is right on the edge of our map, not in the ABC 13 viewing area. So we're not going to concern ourselves with that, but that tornado warning does exist. We will need to watch. You can see there's a cell there, which is east of Appomattox. That one will lift north into Buckingham County. And as far as the rest of the afternoon, looking ahead, I do think that we could see additional tornado warnings from these cells here as they do lift to the north. So it's possible that Pittsylvania County, Smith Mountain Lake, you would be next in line for tornado warnings if more warnings do end up being issued out of this storm. Will and Mr. Battle, Thomas Battle's in the Weather Center right now. Do you see anything that I'm missing, or have y'all gotten any reports of anything I need to know about?
No reports so far. The other only concerning cell is that one just to the west of this cell that is still trying to spin a little bit. So we're going to keep an eye on that one.
Oh, look at that new scan there.
Yeah, it's still pretty bright. So I think if we don't see a warning coming from the one that's towards Mount Vernon Church, that one right there in front of you, George, I'd be kind of surprised because it looks like it's rotating about as much as this first one has.
That's interesting. I'm also, on my computer here, I'm looking at those 2 storms, and I would agree with you. The storm, as you're just pointing out, right along the Henry and Pittsylvania County line on radar, it has a similar appearance to the one which does have that tornado warning that we were just showing you north of Danville, but the National Weather Service is not choosing to issue a tornado warning on that. We've not had any tornado confirmed. No tornado damage has been reported. As far as the storm track, and let's redraw this storm track because I'm showing the storm vectors. Basically, this one is also going to be moving straight to the north. So I would pull this one near 0 degrees so that we can get an estimation on this. So they're basically moving straight to the north. So this is for this cell here, which is right along the Henry County and Pittsylvania County line. There are no major communities, or as far as largely populated areas, that this is going to impact.
George, they have extended this tornado warning. You're about to see it pop in right there. They've extended the tornado warning.
So the tornado warning is now until what time?
Let me remove the storm track there. I think it's until 3 o'clock.
Probably like.
And they just put another tornado warning for that cell we were just looking at.
So let's reset real quick, George, because we've got a couple of different things going on. So this, the first tornado warning, which was this one right here, this one is going to be dropped. They've extended the tornado warning for the original cell that we were watching, which does look a little stronger, up to Chatham, and probably areas a little bit further north than that. And that cell we were just talking about has a brand new tornado warning, and that one goes until, let's see if we can ping it there, 3:15. So both of them go until 3:15.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were just discussing how that radar signature actually looked like the one that did have the tornado warning, and now the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for it. So we now have 2 storms, 2 actually separate areas to watch, which have tornado warnings. These are both moving away from Danville, so you're good. But I know that if you're in the city, or the town of Chatham rather, that you are officially under a tornado warning. Let's cover this one first because I want to see how close this one is going to get to Route 29. We were saying it was moving straight north or maybe just a little bit to the west of. This basically looks like it's moving straight north, almost near 0 degrees, right through here. So let's pull this storm track straight north. If you are in Chatham, the way I'm going to phrase this right now is get ready to get into your place of tornado shelter. This looks like it's going to pass just to your west, but if you do live in Chatham, you are under a tornado warning, and you do need to be ready to seek shelter from the storm in case it does end up producing a tornado. Also, the Hargrave Military Academy is on the west side of town. It's actually pretty close to where you see the C in the word Chatham. Well, you need to be prepared to seek shelter from this storm. But it looks like, because if anything, this should turn a little bit more to the left. It looks like that this is going to pass just north of Chatham, and I would simply avoid driving right now between Chatham and the post office near where 57, where 41 and 57 meet in Pittsylvania County. There's a post office right there. I would avoid driving this section of Route 57, State Highway 57, for the next 20 to 30 minutes in case there is a tornado warning, in case there actually is a tornado that does end up occurring out of this storm. So right through here, that is the area that we're watching. So here are some of the communities. This includes the Flint Hill community at 252. Current time is 2:43, so that is in about 10 minutes. The small Hollywood community near 258, and after 3 o'clock, this would be near Climax. That is tornado warning number 1. Now let's go over to tornado warning number 2, and that is a storm that is basically moving right up the county line.
Real quick, we're going to switch your battery out real quick, George. I'm going to take this. If we could switch over, actually, we're going to look at the other one. If we could switch over to the other weather system, I've already got it pulled up. If you just want to swap to the other weather computer, we can look at that. There we go. All right, so this is the other one that we're also watching. This one's over Henry County and part of Pittsylvania County, and this is tracking this out. The rotation for this one is actually just here at the very bottom. Now, this one's also going to be moving about the same speed, 25 miles an hour to about 30 miles an hour. And these are some of the communities that you should expect probably in the next half hour very quickly. Again, these are not moving as fast as the ones from this morning, but still moving relatively fast. Grady area, Turkey Fork, and then moving towards Sago. Looks like all of that happening within the next 15 minutes. So moving relatively quickly, and it looks like over the next few minutes you should plan to go ahead and get in your safe place. This again, Will, if you could take control of this computer and just bring us down a little closer to this area at the very bottom of that warning. Just curious if we can get any more locations. Yeah, so Mountain Valley Church, Mount Vernon Church also right here. Looks like Route 57, the Grady area, moving towards Turkey Fork in the next few minutes. This area right here is where we're watching. We're expecting that storm to be in that location. Looks like the rotation is still, as we were mentioning a few minutes ago, relatively strong, about as strong as the storm just to this one's east as it moves about the same speed, but lifting northward in the next few minutes. If we could switch this over to velocity real quick, just to look to see if those winds, we can pick that up as well. Yeah, you can still see it. That's exactly what's happening here. This is where we're watching here, just west of the Grady area. That is going to be moving northward. And so if you're in a location like Grady, you probably should already be, you should definitely already be in your safe place. Turkey Fork also should be getting in, moving northward. This one lasts until about 3:15, so also another half hour before that one will be wrapping up as we go into the next half hour or so. But that one also moving about the same speed. If you haven't already, you should be getting in your safe place. This is in Henry County and parts of Pennsylvania County. Keep in mind, this is going to keep moving northward. We've got another scan there, still very bright colors, about the same, maybe just a little less bright actually. Let's go back, if we can switch over to the other computer. Again, we'll look at the other one. So it still looks like we're going to be seeing those showers in the next few minutes. Let's look at this cell here just to the south of Chatham. Let's check that one out. Those also showing pretty significant rotation. Well, and if we can look at that as that's moving northward too. Looks like the next few minutes or so, we're probably going to be dealing with a little more of that substantial rainfall as well. It's coming along with this, and we're seeing some rotation in some of these too. It looks like a lot of that is going to keep going. All right, so here's a broad view, just bringing us back out for a second, and we're looking at these two tornado warned storms, both of which producing some rotation. That is now brought the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning for each of them. The Jones Mill area, we're seeing that bright rotation. Notice the red that's actually popping up. That's one of the first times we've actually seen that so far today, where you can actually see a pixel being showing up as red. So bright colors, whether you see red or green, green is showing a certain direction of the wind, and then reds are showing another direction. So if you see those very close together, very bright, tells you where it's circulating. Yes, Will?
I was going to say, as you got the one storm that's just to the north there, 57, and the other one that's approaching Jones Mill right now. I know 57 is a very popular cut across from Chatham over to Martinsville.
Okay.
No one should be driving on 57 right now between Chatham and Martinsville, at least through about 3:15, while these things continue to lift on up towards the north. One other thing I wanted to bring up was our tornado safety tips. And Thomas, I'll let you go ahead
for
and
it.
read those.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so as I was mentioning a few minutes ago, make sure that you are getting to a safe place in your home. If you are underneath a tornado-warned area, you should be finding the most interior spot of your house. And that can be, sometimes, often it's a bathroom, somewhere that's away from any windows. That's the most, first and foremost, is you want to be away from windows. Get it to the most interior spot of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If that's a basement, awesome. If not, just try to get to the center of your house. If there's no windows, close the door and get there. Also, you might also already have an emergency kit. Try to have that close by, and you can cover your head with a helmet, blanket, pillows, maybe a mattress. Get in the tub, get underneath that, and protect yourself. And that's what you should be doing if you're under a tornado warning right now. And that includes both of these storms, so as that leads on in the next few minutes. But yeah, great tips. Make sure you're finding your safe place, especially if you're underneath those warnings. All right, George, are you going to bring you back in?
Yes, sir.
We're going to keep looking at both of these storms.
Okay, Will, let's go back to the tornado warnings, the traditional maps, and so get you caught up to date. So here it is. It is 2:48 here on your Friday afternoon. I'm George, that's Thomas, that's Will. We have two storms with tornado warnings, and this storm here is definitely rotating just west of Chatham. Let's go in for a closer look. If you're in Dry Fork, this is staying just to your west. So Dry Fork is here. The rotating part of the storm is there near Jones Mill and Flint Hill. You need to be in your place of tornado shelter. The small wheel community, it is tornado safety time for you, and also in Hollywood. As far as Chatham, I was mentioning this earlier, the rotating part of the storm appears to be staying just to your west. It's close, but it looks like it is staying just to the west of Chatham. Let's go to the velocity mode. And this is where we're looking at to see what the wind is doing. This could be a tornado on the ground. This is near Jones Mill. You can also see this is Irish Road. So near Irish Road and Jones Mill, this is west of the Concord Church. This could be a tornado on the ground. It has definitely been looking more impressive here within the last 10 minutes. Still looks like this is going to stay just to the west of Chatham. Let's put this in relation to Chatham. So if you're in Chatham, I know you're under the tornado warning, stay in your house. Don't drive along west on 57 because this possible tornado is going to be crossing 57, and this is going to be near the Hollywood community. There is Wheel Road. If you live near Wheel Road, you need to be in your place of tornado shelter. Yes, Will.
Notice we mentioned this on a Facebook Live earlier. We now have a confirmed tornado on the ground. If you notice, the box is now changed to purple. That means that it is now an observed tornado on the ground. Let's bring the pit chat window, Thomas, right there, because that generally means
I was just looking at, they haven't said it, but they did issue that, they did say that it is. Okay,
So this has been this is now a
they have now,
tornado.
The box has changed to purple, and generally when that happens, that means that that is an observed tornado.
It says at 2:49, confirmed tornado is located near Dry Fork, near Chatham, moving north 25.
So right now, if you're on 57
here,
between Chatham and Hollywood, if you're on 57, don't go on it. Climax Road, as George mentioned, the Wheel community, Marion Church, anywhere west of Chatham, up to about, say, the Rondo community, you should have been already in your safe place. You really need to get there right now. We now have a observed tornado, as indicated by that purple box there. Serious situation coming in for central portions of Pittsylvania County.
Yeah, this is something new from the National Weather Service, that the warning color will actually change to this purple when a tornado is actually confirmed on the ground. And that's what we have right now. Let's zoom out a little bit, and also I want to stop the radar loop. So let's pause the radar loop. If you're in Chatham, remain put where you are. Do not drive on 57 toward Hollywood, that little Hollywood community, little through Wheel Road. That's where this confirmed tornado is going to cross. And Will, did you have some new info?
No, I was just saying, I'm looking at it on the correlation coefficient, which Will's about to bring up over here, right there in front of you.
Ooh,
in the last few scans, you can actually see it pop up there. So that little bright yellow,
I think that's
exactly why they issued it.
This is what we were mentioning earlier. So the storm debris, this is something we normally don't show on television. The storm debris product, this is where we're mentioning you're looking for things that don't belong This area of green, this is highly likely where the tornado has hit something on the ground and things are blowing around in the air. That is tornado damage, which is showing up now on the radar. This is near the Jones Mill community, so Dry Fork right here, downtown Dry Fork and toward Tight Squeeze. This is west of that. It's basically moving parallel to Route 29. Staying near and just west of Chatham, you can see Highway 57 out of Chatham. Do not drive between Callens and Chatham for the next 20 minutes, or otherwise you might get caught up in this tornado. Avoid Highway 57 right through here in Pittsylvania County. This is now a confirmed tornado. I also want to check, how's the other tornado warning? Let's go to that one. We actually have 2 storms with tornado warnings. This also could be a tornado. This one is along the Pittsylvania County and Henry County line. So this black line you see here, this is the county line. So the Boone's Chapel community, there's the elementary school, of course the wildlife management area right in here, fairly low populated region, but it is possible that this could be a tornado. This is near Snow Creek Road, for those of you who know where Snow Creek Road is, in Henry County. That is where this possible tornado is going to be tracking, and that tornado warning is in effect until 3:15. Let's take you back to the other tornado warned storm. And it's also interesting, I'm seeing another cell located just south of Danville. We're not going to spend our time on it because that one doesn't have a tornado warning on it, but that one is now starting to rotate to the south of Danville. So that may be another cell that has a tornado warning. Will, do you have some new info?
It looks like the cell, to me, is starting to split there. After it went up through Jones Mill, now maybe 2 separate areas of rotation.
Yes, sir.
One pretty much right over Flint Hill, the other one right there by the Concord Church off of Tight Squeeze Road. So maybe losing a little bit of its muster as it moves on up towards the north, is maybe it's starting to split a little bit.
I agree. And there's also the potential that we actually could see 2 separate areas of damage out of this. Again, this is near Wheel Road. It's now moving just north of Jones Mill, right through here. So this is just west of Tight Squeeze, near Hargrave, and west of Hargrave. That is one circulating area. And then we have the second one, which is located in Flint Hill. That is going to be crossing Highway 57. So this tornadic part of the storm, in relation to Chatham, it is staying just to your west. Watching this for you very, very closely. If you are in Chatham, let's go ahead and play this safe. Get into your place of tornado shelter in case the circulation does make its way into town. Right now it looks like it's staying to the west. But get into your place of tornado shelter as a just in case this does start to approach the city limits, because this is going to move near Hargrave, but mostly to the west of Hargrave. From there, this is going to move deeper into Pittsylvania County, and Gretna would be next, and also locations to the west of Gretna. We are going to be continuing our live coverage until at least 3:15 this afternoon. So this will be for at least the next 20 minutes as we have these storms with the tornado warnings. If you're just joining us, maybe you're just jumping on TV, let's reset the map for all of our viewers. We actually have 2 tornado warnings from 2 separate cells in Pittsylvania County. These will eventually be moving towards Smith Mountain Lake, northern Pittsylvania County, Bedford, Campbell, and possibly into Lynchburg. There has been a confirmed tornado out of this purple color. There has been a tornado confirmed in Pennsylvania County, and we also have the second cell right through here that's going to be making its way toward Smith Mountain Lake.
I do want to note, George, just for you to let you know, the National Weather Service has said more or less what we said. They don't have eyes on a tornado, but due to the debris signature, that's why they're making it a confirmed tornado. So as you and I were saying, the purple box, is because they do believe that something is there and it's stirred up, as you said, something in the air.
And also, I'm looking at some other radar data here with that cell. It does look like there are actually 2 separate circulating areas of that storm. The stronger one is in the western part of the polygon. The weaker one is near Hargrave and near Chatham. Let's go in for a closer look. this one right through here, this storm that has a tornado warning on it. Yeah, and you could just tell by looking at this, the main part of the storm is here. This is passing well west of Chatham. However, there is a smaller sliver of rotation near and just west of Hargrave. This is crossing 57, and so this will be moving between Chatham and Gretna. That is a fairly low populated area, but if you've ever driven through here, you know there are a lot of homes that are in this path. There is an Anderson Road, which is near this area. There is, there's an Anderson Road. There is also a few other streets that will be watching county roads right through here as this storm does continue to lift to the north. So possible tornado right here. Let's stop the radar loop and let's switch this back over to the velocity mode. And I want to take a closer look at that cell.
George, real quick, I do want to note
Yes.
as well, there actually is another tornado warning just to our south over North Carolina, and that is in Rockingham, North Carolina. So that's still a county away, but it is moving in also just a little bit to our south. So that one's actually heading towards Martinsville. Not going to be moving there yet, but it is something that we should be keeping an eye on just in case. They just put that tornado warning out, and that's at the very bottom of that county.
I see that, and that is going to be near Eden, North Carolina, what you're just talking about right through here. That is a separate cell, so we now have 3 storms with tornado warnings. This one is going to be pushing its way into Franklin County. That one will be near
George,
Sandy level. Yes, sir.
I'll just go ahead and also add maybe 3 more areas that maybe we should be at least keeping an eye on as well. These are firing up in pretty much that same spot that the others did. These aren't screaming anything horrendously right now, but these are going into a pretty juicy environment. And this is the exact area that the last one came up through. So it is possible that these might go up in the track, pretty much train right over the same areas time and time again.
I mentioned this earlier, how there was actually a little bit of sunshine that was trying to appear across south side and how that was actually a bad thing. That was a concern, helping to warm up the air, because the warmer you are, the more likely you can have tornadoes. And this was also a concern that we could have multiple tornado warnings at the same time. We are seeing that right now. Will, could you also move the image so that the radar warnings are on top of the data so that it's easier to see where we do have these warned storms? Thank you for doing that, sir. Let's go back down to Pittsylvania County. So it is now exactly 3 o'clock. I'm George Flickinger along with Mr. Stafford and Thomas. We are watching multiple storms with tornado warnings. This is a confirmed tornado. The last few radar scans, though, don't look quite as vivid, don't look quite as intimidating as earlier, and so that is some good news. There are 2 separate areas of rotation. These are near and just west of Chatham, right here. This is along Highway 57. To the west of Chatham, and before you start getting toward the post office, out closer toward Callens. And there's a second area. Interesting, this part of the cell here is actually moving a bit more to the northwest. And I'm curious if the National Weather Service is going to issue another tornado warning, and if so, they would actually need to include this area, which is closer toward that other tornado warning, which is now making its way toward Pinhook. Let's reset for the entire viewing area, and let's start off in the regular precipitation mode for, as I know there's probably some people normally just turning on their television to watch the normal 3 p.m. news or 3 p.m. programming. There is this kind of a broken line of storms right through here from Roanoke down into Franklin County, east of Rocky Mountain near Danville. And this was our concern for the afternoon, how after the initial band comes through, how we would have these individual cells develop with inflow into them, which could develop tornado warnings. And right now we have 2 of them in Virginia and a 3rd one just south of the state line. Let's take you back down to Pittsylvania County. This first tornado warning, which is showing up purple in color, that's because a tornado has been confirmed with the storm If you are in Chatham, we are going to give you the all clear, and it's okay for you to come out of your tornado shelter if you seek shelter in Chatham. In Chatham, you're good. In Dry Fork, you're good. But right here in the western part of the county, that is where where we're seeing this rotation still existing from a storm, which has already produced a tornado. National Weather Service has a decision to make because this cell is, I'm sure they're aware of this, if not they need to be, how it's moving almost a little bit to the west of due north, and another tornado warning would need to be issued for that area, as that is actually the strongest batch of circulation that we have right now, which is showing up to the west of Chatham. I'm looking at also the radar view here, and Thomas and Will, as y'all were pointing out, I can count,
Hey, George.
I think 5 separate areas of rotation in
George.
south side right now.
Agreed.
Let me just interrupt saying that we got a report in from, actually 2 separate reports. We've got in our newsroom, they've been listening to the scanners, and the Pennsylvania Sheriff's Department is saying that they witnessed a tornado in the area of Powell Road and Dry Fork Road, and the Weather Service is now also saying that they're hearing reports of structures damaged from a possible tornado in Dry Fork in Pennsylvania County, which is that same area that we were kind of giving the attention to earlier on.
Yeah, we're mentioning about Dry Fork Road earlier in our coverage, and that's also when we were seeing some of what looked like some of the tornado damage. So that was just west of along Dry Fork Road, just west of 29, where that confirmed damage and also it's now a confirmed tornado that has occurred from this storm. Don't have any reports this second if we still have a tornado on the ground, but it is definitely rotating at cloud level, as you can see. Let's stop the radar loop and let's just leave this on a current scan here. So if you're in Chatham, it is safe for you to come out of your place of tornado shelter. The part of the storm which had the tornado passed several miles to the west of Chatham and is now in here. This is what did produce some of that tornado damage. As far as Gretna, you were okay. This part of the storm is staying just to your west. A little earlier was seeing some rotation in this part of the cell. We will watch that to see if that one actually is worthy of another tornado warning. Actually, as I'm looking at some of the new data, this one here is actually starting to, Will and Thomas, this part of the cell here, it's interesting because we had the cell split, or at least the rotating area split. This part of the cell here, this is now looking more like if we're going to have another tornado form, that it's going to be out of this part of the storm now on the east than the west side. Notice how you're starting to see some red showing up here. This is an area of circulation. This one also would be in a better spot to produce a tornado because we have this wind near the ground coming in from the east and there's nothing on the east side of the storm, so it has a direct inflow path. And it's one of these things that I've seen from my tornado chasing, my storm chasing days. If I was storm chasing, I would have been on the east side of the storm right through here and watched this one as it lifts to the north. I'm sure the National Weather Service is going to have to issue another tornado warning. We still have this current warning for 10 minutes, but it's based on what we're seeing on the radar right now. They will be needing to issue another warning. Let's go ahead. So we have the 2 tornado warnings.
While you mentioned that, I do want to throw in, they actually had talked about that just a few minutes ago about how the new circulation that you were just pointing out is probably trying to feed off of the old one. And that's probably what we're seeing happen there. But yeah, I bet they would probably issue another one soon because it does not look like that's going away. Supposed to be ending in 9 minutes. Both of them are technically supposed to end in at about 3:15. But yeah, I bet we're probably going to see them extended.
And also, George,
it's also going to move uncomfortably close to Highway 29 between Chatham and Gretna. Hopefully just west of, doesn't make it into Gretna, but yes, Will?
I was just going to say there's a storm down here in Rockingham, North Carolina. It's a ways away, but look at the look how well that thing is wrapped up. That's pretty it's pretty intense.
And so that storm that Will is talking about, that cell would eventually make its way toward Henry County and Martinsville. And so we will be watching for that. Scott, anything we need to know about right now? Okay, all right, so let's reset here. And so what I want to do, so for our viewers just turning on their television right now, we are going to show you the entire area and what we have happening. So we have two separate storms with tornado warnings. One of these storms has produced a tornado. We've had damage confirmed out of the storm, and we've also had an actual sighting of the tornado in Pittsylvania County. It's from this cell right here. There is a separate, smaller cell with a tornado warning. That one is going to be lifting north toward Smith Mountain Lake. We're also watching a third storm with a tornado warning just south of Henry County. You can see that one is going to make a run toward Martinsville, so we may end up having 3 tornado warnings at the same time in our broadcast area. Let's go back to, see, Will, you're running the radar right now. Let's go back to the first one here. And let's stop the radar loop. Super close up. So back out just a little bit. He's going to hit the button and make the computer go the other way. So let's go to the velocity mode. Okay, so it's interesting because when you look at the radar, the rain on the left side, the west side of the storm, looks more impressive than this, but this is where we're going to have to watch for another tornado to develop. This is near the Climax community at Climax Road. If you live in Gretna, Gretna, you're okay. But I would not drive on Highway 40, State Highway 40, which runs west of Gretna and towards Smith Mountain Lake. I would avoid driving State Highway 40 in Gretna because the circulating part of the storm is going to be crossing Highway 40, and even if there's not a tornado, this is going to be miserable to drive through. So avoid Highway 40 to the west of Gretna. As far as Highway 57 we were showing you earlier, we are giving you the all clear to travel Highway 57 now between Chatham and Callens. We are giving you the all clear because that part of the storm has lifted away. But right in here, this would be the area that we would be watching for more development. Now let's take a look at that other tornado warned storm.
This, the other one around Chatham seems to be strengthening as well.
We'll get to it. Yeah, there's so many circulating areas within these storms that we're having to jump between all of these. This storm has a tornado warning on it just south of Smith Mountain Lake. I want to pull out just a little bit, and I do want to pull a storm track. Looks like the storm vector on this one, it is straight north. This one here, let's pull a storm track because this one's going to work its way across Smith Mountain Lake, and let's pull the storm track from right in here where you see the green to some of these red colors coming together as this lifts to the north. This is going to be making its way towards Smith Mountain Lake, and more so the west side of the lake, say the Moneta side of Smith Mountain Lake. So this is going to pass and cross Highway 40 near and west of Pinhook toward and on the west side of Smith Mountain Lake and toward Moneta. That's where we're going to see this storm moving. That has a current tornado warning, and we are anticipating that we are going to see more tornado warnings issued. West Lake corner, obviously the west side of the lake, we'll see that near 3:37, so about 20 minutes from now, we'll see that circulating part of the storm moving your direction. Thomas, let's go back down to Pittsylvania County.
Yep.
And I want to zoom out just a little bit because I want to see this in relation to Danville as well as our viewers in Chatham and also into Gretna. Yeah, this was one of the big concerns that I had yesterday, is that after we had the initial rain move through, it's what moved through earlier, that you could have these individual cells line up and they would be separated enough to where all of them could have inflow into them. And so there are 3 areas of rotation to watch. 1, 2, and 3 that are not in the warning. Thank you for that message. So right through here, 1, 2, and 3, those are 3 areas that are rotating. Don't have a tornado warning at this time, but those will be ones to watch. Let's go back now to this cell here.
Just FYI, George, at the moment, the Pennsylvania warning looks like they're going to expire it, and they just expired the one for Franklin, so those 2 might go away in a second.
Okay, so this warning here